Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. We are heading back to the supermarkets for this one, and this is one that I picked up from Waitrose just the other day. Actually, was it last weekend, or was it the weekend before? It could actually been a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, it's another one from Waitrose, and it's from a German brewery, so it's an imported beer. It's from BRLO, which are out of Berlin. And this is a bottle of their Hell's Lager. It's a 330ml bottle. It's coming in at 5%. Nice simple artwork. I actually like that. Sometimes artwork on cans or bottles can be way too simple, but somehow that just works for me. I do like that. Yeah, like I say, from BRLO, it's a Hell's Lager, 330ml, 5%, repeat myself, from Waitrose, all of £2. So I would expect this to be decent, being a German beer. I know we're sort of talking craft, but let's face it, Germans don't need craft beers to make a decent lager. So hopefully this should be a banger. I don't have one of their branded glasses. Shockingly enough, surprisingly enough, you wouldn't expect me to. So I'm going to whack it in this glass. I know it's more of a Pilsner glass, but I'm sure it'll do for this. Now, on the back, most of it is in German. It gives you a little bit of a German thing on the back. Underneath, our Berlin Beer Garden bestseller, a lager for all the plans you'll end up cancelling. So basically, they're saying this is one of their core range. It's a belter. Go and drink it. So without further ado, let's get it cracked open, get it into a glass, see what we get. It's been in the fridge for a while, so it's nice and chilled, probably at about 4 degrees, 4 to 5 degrees. Possibly could be colder, but if it's decent, I ain't going to care at 4 degrees. So let's pour it out, see what we get. The pale ale was very nice, very traditional, really. Very sort of very much a lager, but definitely had sort of like a traditional sort of pale ale feel, English pale ale feel to it. There's a little bit left in the bottle. Beer in a glass. We'll just give that a tap because there's a few bubbles sticking. That looks like a very decent beer. I do like a lager that has that slight haze to it. This has got that slight haze. There's plenty of bubbles going up, and we got a decent sort of head on that. Not really worried about the size because depending on how you pour it, can all be different, but pretty much a compact white head, but looks decent. So I'm going to dive in with the nostrils, see what we get on the nose. And I'll tell you what, I've definitely lost a bit of the old sense of smell. Yeah, get me nose in there a little bit more. Literally in there. I'm definitely getting that German sort of lager feel to it. Sweet malt, but not overly sweet nor syrupy. Definitely getting that German hop thing going on. I mean, it just smells. This is what lagers should smell like, not Foster's or Carling, any of that sort of shit. This is how a good lager should smell to me. I wouldn't say I'm getting like a bready sort of thing going on. Maybe I'll get a little bit more in the taste. So let's get the rest in the glass. There's only so much sniffing you can do. You find out more from a beer from tasting. So BRLO, Hellstyle Lager from Waitrose, £2, 5%, 330ml bottle. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. Again, a little bit like the pale ale that I had from them. A little bit different, not necessarily 100% what I was expecting. What it is good though. What it is definitely good. .5% lager. Has got a lovely body to it. It's almost perfection in the body. The weight of the beer is lovely. It's got enough there to know you're drinking something, but not enough to really slow you down. It has that drinkability in the body. It's quite well carbonated, and I think the body of this beer just sort of brings it in a bit. You could look at that initially and go, that feels a little bit overcarbonated, but once you start drinking, the weight of the body sort of kills the carbonation a little bit, so you don't feel it so much. But the carbonation is still decent, don't get me wrong. It is quite busy, but it's still decent. Quite smooth on the back end, it's got to be said. The bubbles are small in the carbonation, so like I say, you do sort of feel it, but back end it sort of eases off a little bit and makes the beer feel very smooth. Should have got 2 of these, to be honest, because that is going down really good. What that's telling you might only be a 330ml, but that is going down a treat. Very, very drinkable. I'll tell you what, a summer's day, £2 a bottle. I know you could go through a few, but Jesus Christ, I'll tell you, that's quality, and I'd quite happily do that. Anyway, let's get on with the tasting notes. For me, first thing I pick up, even though it's a hell sort of style, you will always get that sort of little Pilsner bite with them, or certainly from my experience, you tend to get that little bit of a Pilsner bite with them. First thing I get off the taste of this is that Pilsner bite. The carbonation is there, and that certainly brings that little Pilsner bite to the forefront from the hops. There is a slight sweet maltiness to it. Biscuity, digestive biscuit sort of maltiness, that's what I'm getting. A lot of the time I'll pick up sort of like a bready sort of maltiness, maybe a cracker thing going on, but that leaves you with a little bit of a digestive, pardon me, I do apologise, a digestive biscuit sort of maltiness to it, which is really nice. Gonna have to wrap this up soon. A very subtle citrus note. I think it's a very subtle sort of lemon sort of note in there, maybe a little bit of lime, but it's subtle, very subtle, and you don't really notice it. It drinks like an absolute dream. 5%, I think the ABV is perfect in taste. It's not like you're drinking it and going, that is way too overpowering. That feels like a beer that has a little bit more gumption about it, but it's also very drinkable and will go down well. It's sessionable, it's got lovely flavours. That's a lovely lager, that is. That is lovely. I know there's going to be some out there that maybe don't like it. It does leave you with a little bit of a bitter edge, but I think that is cracking. £2 for that, I think is value for money. I really do. I think it should have been £2.10, but I think a whole 10p off, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, even at £2.10, I would happily drink that. That's a decent drop. Very tasty. All gone. So there you go. BRLO and their hells from Waitrose. £2 for a bottle. Great value, I think. That's a really nice drop. I know some supermarkets, sort of bigger mass-produced sort of stuff like Pilsner Urquell, Warsteiner, Kronbacher. Yeah, you might be able to get bigger bottles, but I think for something like that you don't see everywhere in this country, I think £2 value for money. Give it a go, get your arse in Waitrose. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.